최고지 불모대 준재무상 나오지 불모대 준재보성 종국대전 옴남 오신날 옴지림 관세음보살본심님 육자대명관지름 옴마니 반대옴 옴마니 반대옴 옴마니 반대옴 준재지름 나무산단 남삼단 삼보다 구치남 난야담 옴자레 주레 준재사반 부림 옴자레 주레 준재사반 부림 옴자레 주레 준재사반 부림 옴자레 주레 준재사반 부림 아금지 성대 준재 육발보리 성대본 원하정의 촉건정 원하공동 대성주의 원하승복병정법 원공증생성무노여리 식대방원문 원하영의삼박동 원하속전전진지 원하성문무럽수 원하숙수계정의 원하양수제불락 원하구죄보리심 원하교중생남양 원하숙전남미남 원하분신정신정 원하건조지중생바사홍소 중생무량소원동 원매무진소원단 노문무량소원단 구도무상소원송 자성중생소원동 자성본뇌소원단 자성보문소원학 자성보도소원송 원이만원이 귀명회 삼본 나무성주지방문 나무성주지방문 나무성주지방송 나무성주지방문 나무성주지방문 나무성주지방송 나무성주지방문 나무성주지방문 나무성주지방송 정삼복지로 옴사바바바 수다사마다마사바바바 수도암 옴사바바바 수다사마다마사바바바 수도암 옴사바바바 수다사마다마사바바바 수도암 대연지로 옴바람나로다가라야 삼마야 바라네사야옴 옴바람나로다가라야 삼마야 바라네사야옴 옴바람나로다가라야 삼마야 바라네사야옴 군단지로 옴난다난다나지라지난다 마리사마 옴난다난다나지라지난다 마리사마 옴난다 삼마라 삼마라 미모노 사라바 자가라바 우봉 삼마라 삼마라 미모노 사라바 자가라바 오마모가 사바다라 사다야 아시레 오마모가 사바다라 사다야 아시레 오마모가 사바다라 사다야 오모로호로 사야목대 사바 오모로호로 사야목대 사바 오모로호로 사야목대 사바 자지신령과 수지 대중수가 웅신여 공가량 공가래
고시방선세 제망용 무진 선보야도 불사자비여 순한간 삼매소수 불공독해 해양상처 실험만되지 전하태 불예중에 법륜전 성전 너무공독해 당하노 사바세계 유나의 시대의 건들이 큰 얼굴 대연불보정사 총경지 오나금차이 그 기정 금일계도 불계 2566년 4월 8일 덕가열의 탄신일기도이신 악몽 대연불보정사의 삼신불 내지 삼전불명훈급비 금일계도 동참만원 세자 내지 죽은 제자 헌공만원 세자가 깎은 것 각기영이 소멸 사대 강건 육군 총격 어긴언니 귀인 상봉 자손 창성 부경화 만사의 원만 성지 언제곧 원화금차리 그 기정 금일도 불계 2566년 양력 5월 15일이 도이신 악몽 석가열의 부처님요 법보하신 삼정부 천수 천안간 세연모사 명훈여피 금일기도 동천마론 제자 헌공마론 제자 축원 제자가 극등고치 각기 참선자는 의단동로 영불자는 선내현정 강경련 해양동토 주격자는 옥장소멸 기도자는 수군성체 사업자는 사업성체 학원자는 재충용 운전자는 무선운행 각기간의 만석일청 신종수소원 일여의원만 성지지 원삼교주 원화금차리 그 지정 금일기도 동참마론 제자내제 대연불보정사 신조일체 내제 대연불보정사 수속일체가 극등무시 각제사해 8방 24방 주리왕 반드시 불성불의 상봉유명 각제 만사일장 신중수부수원 일일여의원만 성지 어거름일 지극지정성일신나라 대연불보정사 39년 드디어 최소 해작불사중 성지 어느원 사복쟁무량무지 공유화정장무매동릿불이 되도령 상공하웅불보살 아몽수불대방명소멸무량중계적 백덕무량대제 도성무상회정과 광로법계제중생 일부예불낙대원 세서면무살로 우경원성설바야
보살 편표요. 예, please. 보세요. 힘들어요. 예, 예, 여기 드세요.
오면화가 들어와야지. 그런데 이제 저 2부를 시작해야 되는데
무량을 보살 도배나 편 선생님 들어오세요.
네.
인타임. 보살, 보살.
마하야 바라밀타 신경광 자체보살행신마냐 바라밀타 시조견오원계공도 일체조액사리야 백거리공성들이세색 즉시공 주시세수상행실력 구여실사리야 제계보경상구생불 불거구장구정불간 시고공유무색보수상무하리비서신 무색성향미적법 무한계내질구리시 무가에 무가에 고무요공고원이정도선
대상제대 현수 천수연민 기리성 각방신통지내려 원화금류 차일시사바득에 대연불보정사 청정지 노래 원화금 차리그지정 금일기도 불기 1566년 4월 발에 부처님 탄신일기도 지신 악몽화음 성경 금에게도 동참말은 제자가 각등곳 각기의 참선자는 의단동로 여행굴자는 삼대연전 강경자는 해안동토 주력자는 업장 소멸기도자는 수원성지 사업자는 사업성지 병모자는 속속겠자 운전자는 무사고네 각기간의 만사일청 신중 소부소원 일여의원만성지지 공참말은 예전에지 대연불보정사 신도일체가 각등곳 각계사의 8방 24방 주리왕 안식 불공개 불공개 불공악인 불공중사 각계간의 만사일장 심중 수구수원 일일여의원만 성지지 어건금일 지급지정성일 신발 금일기도 동참말은 내자매지 대연불보정사 신도일체가 각등곳 각기 사업자는 사업성지 명고자는 속속했자 지도자는 성원성지 각기간의 일장 심중 소소원 일여의원만 성지지 연루한 서세간 어금여연합을 짝수신 정정 조업배술의 무상정교에서 그러면 일부는 끝이 나죠.
Everybody look at the
나무 정경목식
시장님이 이거 사회 보면서인데요. 시장님 어디 앞으로 나오세요. 시장님.
Okay, you come over here. You say something. Okay, you sit here.
Okay.
Yes. First stop, three, hit the bell. You want to hit the bell 30 times.
33.
33 times.
33. 33.
different levels of heaven. So the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas here are please, our prayers.
뭘 하러
Okay, so so we'll be singing the song of taking refuge in the three jewels, known as Samgi.
ang으로 explain. 3기 할 거예요. 3기 같이 하세요. 부처님 오신날 혼자 해요.
준비됐어요? 네. 4월 8일에. 아니, 지금 했어요. 네? 지금 한 거예요. 그러면 안하신대.
So now the Heart Sutra.
내지무의식 무무명령 무무영지 내지무노사영무는 사진무거짐령 여무지영무누이무수 극고버리사다 이반영 신무가에 무가에고 무유동보리정도 공상무영열반선세 제불이바냐 인정고유간욕하나 삼락삼보리 고지반야 바람일도 시대신주 시대영주 시무상주 시무정정주 능제일체고 진실불 고설반야 바람일담 주죽소주 아제아제 바라제 바라승아제 모지 사바제 아제 바라제 바라승아제 모지 사바제 아제 바라제 바라승아제 모지 사바
신장님 인센스해. 오세요.
향공향
신장님. 신장님 오세요. 신장님.
So this will be the incense offering.
다음에
So this is the tea offering, I think. The tea offering. Water offering.
지금 뭐예요, 선생님? 한다, 왜? 한다 보세요. 한다. 대덕신부사님. 그러면 대덕신부사.
Fruit offering is next. Okay, so the rice offering is coming now.
김선영 부사님.
flower offering. Okay, flower offering now.
She made a flower basket.
She made that. She's very talented.
이혼이 부사님.
Okay, fruit offering now. Fruit offering.
이혼이 부사님. 그거 조심해야 돼요. 그쵸? 자주 와요. 안녕하세요 부사님.
Okay, this is a lantern offering. The light.
안녕하세요 부사님.
Okay, one more lantern coming.
진성부당 come on please. Take the next 진성부당. Next team, please. 보세요.
Okay, so we're offering the third lantern now.
공덕화 보사님. Rainbow. Woo. Where you gonna open it? You up to you. 관세모살 where? 서가모니 부처님 everywhere. Anywhere you choose. She just engaged.
Yeah, just in case. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait. Wonderful. Congratulations, engaged. Now, oh,
Okay, now, okay,
flower.
now I say something and second,
flower.
Oh, okay.
스님,
Okay.
마지막에 flower 뭐예요?
flower은 저기 한테 안 되는 거 아니야?
뭐야? 어떻게 있고요?
So Master Desa will give us a little bit of a Dharma talk now. A little bit, something.
Welcome to dance information for everybody. How are you? Good. earlier that was the many people, many our members came here, but today Mother's Day, otherwise coronavirus. This is many very good. Other temple not too much, as many. So I'm very proud. So after ceremony, our financing going to what's that? 5 questions?
Yeah.
I don't know. Today they come. 5 questions. How many today? 8.
8.
After
Maybe 7. I'm
7,
not sure.
okay. Otherwise, we start, was the shower for Buddha. Everybody take one flower there. Over here, have a bowl and shower. After finish it,
반성부산에 자기도 올려.
we should
반성부산.
lunch. Vegetarian lunch is not meat. Everybody enjoy it with us. Thank you. Otherwise,
한 거예요?
Thank you. I don't know what I'm supposed to say. But welcome, everybody. Welcome to Dayan's Temple. And this is an auspicious day, and this is a tradition that goes back forever. And we love to do it because it's about acknowledging the birth of the baby. So I think what the master is saying, we're all going to come up and I guess take a flower first, and we're going to leave the flower over
Yeah.
there. And then at the same time, we're going to use the cup, and we're going to have a cup of
Yes,
water.
보살.
yes, there should be a cup. We're gonna circle around, all around. We're gonna take a flower, we're gonna offer it up to the base up here, with the has a water in it.
Okay.
And then we circle around, and then we do three cupfuls over the baby Buddha's head.
sit down.
And then go back to your seat.
Yeah, and then go back to your seat.
And for putting the 3 cups of water, it's not a real bath, so it doesn't have to take a long time. Huh? Yeah, we'll prepare, but it doesn't take a long time. It can be, because if we took a long time, we'd be here till late at night, so. But you get the idea is that we're bathing a baby, so, and I'll mention that later. Okay, are we ready? No. Dharma talk now?
Yes, yes. About time.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a few notes that I'm gonna make. I'm gonna try it without the mic. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
It might be working for me too. I really want to thank Master Daesan for a lot of things. One, creating this temple, bringing us all together today, creating Buddhism in this part of the world. So I acknowledge him for that. And I acknowledge him for the honor given me to speak a little bit about Buddha's birth today. So today I want to tell a couple of stories about Buddhism, the Buddha's birth. Maybe even another way of looking at it. And then we're going to have a precept ceremony. And so I guess I'll lead that as well. So I'll start with a birth story of the Buddha. I've been telling this same story here for a long time, so some of you probably have heard it before, and you don't want to be bothered, you can go out and check your Twitter or something. Or, well, I won't be that long, so you won't have to do that. The story is about a king who wanted an heir. And there was a magic prophecy. The child was raised as a prince. He was not allowed to see or think anything negative. After a while, he got curious and he left the castle. He went over the wall and he saw suffering. And he wondered what causes suffering. He found that clinging and aversion caused suffering. So he started to fast and do austere practices. And then he became enlightened. And that's pretty much the story that I've been telling for a long time. It's pretty much the story of the birth of the baby. Did I leave anything out? Okay. It's Mother's Day. I left mothers out of the story. I say mothers because Buddha had two. And today is Mother's Day. And it's a special day because it's different from the other 364 days of the year, because on those days we forget mothers. I think of mothers as the glue that hold things together. Families, temples, society. Mothers are the glue. King Suddhodana wanted a son, someone who would take over the kingdom and expand the kingdom. So he and his wife, Mahamaya, worked on it for a long time. And then one night, she had a dream. And she dreamt that an elephant with huge white tusks went into her side in the dream. And when she woke up, she was afraid of such a scary dream. So she talked to her husband, and he called for the magic interpreters to show up and to tell him what the dream meant. And they said, the dream means that someday the child that you're going to have is going to be a boy. And he's going to grow up to be a great king or a holy man. Kings don't mind having sons that grow up to be great princes and take over large parts of the world and bring wealth to them, but they sure don't want a holy man walking around the castle. As my story continues, it's related obviously by a male. So I want to say something about women, and for me to tell women something about having a child or childbirth, it'd be like me trying to talk to a bird and tell the bird how to fly. Mahamaya was pregnant or in labor for 10 months, as was the custom with Buddhists. They don't have a 9-month gestation period, it's a 10-month period, because they think of the Buddha as a diamond in the rough. The whole 10 months must have been very difficult. In those days, there were no cars or hospitals or walk-in clinics. So she was on her way to visit her mother, which was the custom in those days, and it still is in many places, when by the side of the road, she just grabbed a tree and the baby was magically born from her side. I have a daughter-in-law right now who's in her 9th month of pregnancy, and things are rough with her. She has 3 children already and a husband. So there's a lot of work involved, doctor's appointments and COVID and homeschooling and all the things that a mother goes through. Just imagine how bad it was back in those days. The whole idea of the magic birth of a baby is a great nuance for children when you're telling children the story. but in reality, it's very difficult. That's why they call it labor. And as you'll see, another big disappointment for women is that in the story, Mahamaya died 7 days after the baby was born. And she's not mentioned again. So that's really disrespectful to a mother. Mahaprajnapati Utami was her sister and the Suddhodana, the king's second wife. He had 2 wives, they did that in those days. She, Mahaprajnapati, ended up raising the baby from birth, when she nursed him, all the way up into his enlightenment. She also had 2 half-children, 2 half-siblings of the Buddha. And so when Mahamaya passed on, Majapahati also became the regent. She was in charge of the entire lifetime, practically, of the Buddha. Although she had assistance from probably many staffs, many people that would help her with clothing and raising the baby and schooling him and educating him, she still worked probably 24/7, as most Buddhas do. I gotta give credit to the king, probably with all of that business going on, he probably still had time to play a couple of rounds of golf every day and do some hunting or fishing. Notice how women are marginalized in the whole story of Buddhism. From his formative years all the way up to the end. Prajnapati stayed with him, and she helped him go through all the stuff that a young man has to go through until his enlightenment. And then she asked him to ordain her and 500 Shakti women from their town, their village, their country. So the Buddha ordained her and them. And she helped organize a unified community of men and women, lay and ordained, that are with us until today. Majna Prajapati is the mother of Buddhism as we know it today. There are so many mothers that we must remember today and in this story. One mother I think of is Desan, Master Desan's mother was ordained by him, just like a Buddha. The women here, Su Yan and Hang Yan, are the mothers of this temple. They do all the work. They're working 24/7, and they're not seen a lot. They're behind the scenes. So while I was talking to all of you this morning here, they were doing all kinds of work to make this thing possible today. Another one we forget is Yashara, who was Buddha's wife. Buddha went off to become enlightened at a certain period in his life, and he left his mother with their child. Must have been very difficult for her too, being in a kingdom with all kinds of extended relatives and in-laws. Another one that I liked was Sujata. Sujata was a young girl that just had a baby, and she was traveling through the woods to her temple somewhere to give honor to her God for the baby that she had. And that's when she stumbled across the Buddha, who was half dead. And she nursed him back to life, another mother of the Buddha. A mother that relates to me in Buddhism is Kuan Sin Osa, or I call her Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin has 1,000 hands. Each hand has an ear and an eye. So as a mother, she had so much to do that she magically grew all those arms and hands so that she could help her children. I would like to see the tools in her hand more modern for today's mother, like a cell phone and a little fob for the car keys. Because that's what mothers today do. 24/7, they need 1,000 arms and hands. Maybe a credit card or two. I think of my mother with her 1,000 arms. What did she hold for me? Band-aids, car keys. She would help me find my homework when I couldn't find it, a pencil when I needed it to do my math homework, and some change. She always had a couple of quarters. We didn't have much money, but she always had a couple of quarters or something for my lunch or a snack. Please notice the lanterns around here today. Every one of the lanterns are about family and mothers. Another mother story that I think of is that mothers never change. Mothers are always mothers their whole life, even when their kids are grown up. Even when they get married, they say mothers. This morning when I got up and said I got to go to the temple, my wife said, now don't forget to take a shower. That's because she's a mother. Mothers think like that. It just rolls out. So today I would like us to acknowledge all mothers, birth mothers, foster mothers, grandmothers, stepmothers, mothers-in-law. All caregivers are mothers. And all mothers are Buddhas. So if you're a mother, you're a Buddha. We can talk about what's behind it, the philosophy and the theology and Buddhology, but all mothers are Buddhas. Past, present, and the future. So happy birthday to all mothers today, because you are a Buddha and you birth Buddhas. Today there are several people here who are going to take the precepts. The precepts are another way of birthing the Buddha and bringing Buddha into the world. Just like the Buddha taught us the precepts are tools, or what I call rumble strips, to keep us on the straight and narrow. The precepts are about reverence for life, for generosity, for compassionate speech and listening, for the mindful use of the earth's resources. So today, when you take the precepts, please take them as amateurs, not as professionals. The word amateur means someone who does something for love. So you're taking them for love, not because somebody told you you must take them. Once you take the precepts, you will go on to lead a regular life. You'll have to pay bills, do homework, put gas in your car, do all the things regular people will do. You won't change. And the way these precepts have evolved over the years, there was a time in the last 2,000 years when they didn't always give the 5 precepts. Sometimes people only wanted to take one, or they would only take the ones they thought they could keep. But today, we take all 5 precepts. But we can choose the way we want to keep them. We can keep them all every day, or we can specialize 1 week at a time, choosing the first precept, or the third precept, or the fourth precept. The precepts can be hygiene, mental hygiene. So every morning when you wash your face or brush your teeth, you can take the precepts. You can look in the mirror and repeat them to yourself. The master and Su Yan Sun and Hong Yan Sun are all masters of the precepts. So anytime you have a chance to just float one by one of the suns, do it. Tell them how you're doing, or ask a question. And you can do it to each other. Talk, how do you look at that precept? What do you feel about compassionate listening? And lastly, before we start the ceremony, I invite everybody here to take the precepts today. Whether you took them before or whether you never took them at all. But I'd like you to take the precepts with the 7 people who are taking the precepts. And you don't have to take them forever, but take them for today. Or take them for just while you're on the temple property. So you might say to yourself, gee, I won't steal or rob a bank today. Notice what it feels like to say to yourself the words that people are saying. I won't steal, etc. So it gives me a feeling when I mention the precepts. So when I mention it to the people that are taking them, I get a little feeling when I say it. I don't know what the feeling is, I won't try to explain it, but there is a feeling. So that's the end of my words, and now it's time to start the precept ceremony.
Thank you.
Now, chanting Sokamani Buddha, and everybody get warm towel, offer, and shower. And turn, sit back.
Oh,
Okay,
so
thank
we're
you.
gonna be chanting Shakyamuni Buddha's name,
Everybody,
and then
would you please get up?
we'll be taking the flowers, circling around, and then
Okay, come on in, Aiko, please. Standing. Take picture there too. Anybody take a picture? Take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture, please.
I already did.
You take a picture, you send it to me later, okay? Thank you, please. Everybody, okay? Everybody. Together.
Excuse me. Come up, sit
Higher.
청춘이 오면 좀빵 좀 사들라고 보라서 사들라고 그러는데 아우 무슨 자꾸 찌지고 한 2주에 한 번씩 나는 거 같아.
Look, they're beautiful. Wow, happy Mother's Day. Oh my God.
Mother's Day to you too.
Don't forget to bring Happy Mother's Day flower.
진짜 잃어버리잖아. 이거 그게 이거 있잖아. 해피 머더스데이.
감사합니다.
2살.
이거 하나씩 해피 머더스데이 하나는 거. 해피 머더스데이.
아니 갈 기회도 별로 없어서 형님한테 한번 들려야 되는데.
코로나인데 뭐 바쁘는데 그냥 그러고 사는 거야.
선생님은요?
괜찮지 그거.
네.
뭐 신났지 뭐 거기 먹을 거 많겠다 뭐.
네.
뭐
어저께는 저 소영길 사범, 소영길 사범이 카톡 예술이라고 그러더라고요.
우리 집에 왔었지.
네, 그래서 안부 전해.
그저 박사범도 집에 왔었고 한남에서 만나가지고 나 식사 대접도 다.
박사범이 하고 계세요? 네.
나 보고 싶다 보니까 오라 그래가지고 송영일이가 데리고 한남시내에서 오라가지고 와서 한잔 마시고.
어디서요? 코레이크에서 쓰냐고 주소지.
뉴저지에서 만났지. 뉴저지로 오라 그랬지. 내가 롱 드라이브를 못 하니까 눈 수술도 하고 그래서 내려오라 가지고 차는 마시고 식사.
잘 지는데.
어서 오세요. 대표님 어서 오세요.
잘 지내지 뭐 다들 뭐 애들이 커서 뭐 변호사가 되고 뭐다뭐 죄인에서 경배동에 산다고. 설에 오시면 한번 전화하시라고 그래서 저 박사 보면 우리 마누라 학교 동창이야. 중앙국민학교.
네.
나보다 한 3살도 나래요. 걔네들. 나는 사람이 있으니까 뭐 수술이 뭐 걔네들 그저 친구들이 다 내 그저 동생포 하면 다 이사 보잖아. 뭐 어색하지. 괜찮다 그러고. 또 시간이 많으니까 아이 김사원님 댁에 한번 가봅시다. 아 이거 뭐 여기 있는 것도 가자고 집에. 그 집에 데려와서 그냥 차도 마셨고 배도 부르고 그냥 한 3-5시간 있다가 저녁 식사 대접할 때가 가자 그래서 또 한남체를 가서 너무 좋으니까 놀이터지 뭐 거기 뭐 나무 있고 다 있는데.
그렇죠. 한강치 그쪽으로 가면.
사초파일인데 또 참여를 해야 될 것 같아서 뽕이가 술도 좀 마시. 뽕이가 어차피 우리 집 앞에 와서 부르다 왜 지나가. 떡 주문했으니까 우리 집에 지나가야 돼. 근데 떡 싣고 우리 집에 들어가서 다 태우고 이게 뭐 시민차벽에 나와. 어차피 떡 찾으면 우리 집 앞에 지나가야
배방이 아니고 우리 한인 성부들 거기에.
I'd like to mention what we're doing is we're bathing the Buddha because in the story, after the baby was born magically, and he took a few steps and he said, I am the Buddha, the sky opened up, the heavens opened up, and two streams, that's why we have 2 cups, 2 streams came down. One was purified water, and the other was purified sweet tea. So he was bathed by the heavens as soon as he was born. And so we're taking
Happy
part
Mother's Day,
in that
Happy
same
Mother's Day.
part of the birthing process.
Happy Mother's Day, Happy birthday. I hope they
지금 뭐다 잘 살고 감사한 얘기 들으니까 다들 잘 살고 아들이 두 아들이 하버드 대학에 나왔는데 그 아들이 또 아들 둘이 나와가지고 또 하버드 대학에 나왔어. 그런 얘기 참 축하하고 3집에서 하버드 대학